and what is the advantage of using it, and how it's like very perform as compared to share preferences, and what is the type of implementation of this. So let's go ahead and move it. So basically data store is a new way of data storage solutions that introduced by Google as part of Android Jetpack library. It's designed to simplify the process storing and managing data in your Android applications. It's provide modern way to store the data and efficient and easy to use alternate of share preferences. And data store basically there's two way of implementation. One is kind of preference data store, or another one is proto data store. So preference data store, this is similar kind of share preferences but provide better performance, support synchronous and asynchronous data read and write operations. Now we'll talk about a little bit proto data store. So proto data store is use protocol buffer to serialize the data, and it's more powerful and flexible than preference data store. It is allowed to define complex data structure and handling version more effectively. So in this video we will discuss only about the preference data store, and the next video I will explain what is the proto data store and how to use it. The next slide I will show you what is the key features and benefit of this data store over the share preferences. So first and important feature is data store is type safe, because it's utilizing Kotlin type safe APIs that reduce the risk of runtime error. The second one is asynchronous APIs. So data storage provide coroutine based on asynchronous read and write operation, which are essential for not blocking for UI thread. So basically whatever operation it's performing in a non-UI thread, so non-UI thread will not block using coroutines. Third one is the very important and very essential, that is performance. So data storage is designed for efficient and offer a better performance over the share preferences, especially when you are handling large amount of data or very complex structures. Fourth one is consistency and automaticity. So data stores ensure the write operation are consistent and automatic. It's prevent data corruption and loss. That's the very important feature of this data store, and you can use it after Android API 5.0 and higher. The next slide you can see what is the key features that you can use in share preferences and what you can use in preference data store, and what advantage you can get over the prototype data store. The next important question, how to use it, that's the things I will show you in deep. So let's move on Android Studio and let's create one empty project. I have already created it, and if you want to use an existing project, that you can also use. For here I am created one existing project. Here you can see. So the important things is, let's hide this Android emulator. First you have to go you need to set up dependencies. So right now the dependency is you can see my screen, data storage preferences 1.0.0. so right now it's a stable version while I am recording this video, but you can use based on that existing. While you are using it, you can set and reset it based on need. So in this example what I am going to do, I am creating one screen, and in this screen basically I am going to store username and the age of the user is in integer basically. So for doing that I am holding I am created one data class. It's have username and age. So username is data type is string and age is officially integer. And for like dealing with the data store, what I am going to use, I am using this data store manager. Here I am created one preference data store using this, and the key name is user setting. So As in this example I am using user setting, you can use whatever you need. And this data store need one kind of context, so where you want to use it. Ideally the ideal way of passing context is should be application context where you are using it. And the first function that I have written is return flow of user setting, and internally I am checking if any IO exception is there, then I simply return empty preferences. Otherwise if have any something, then we will map all the data and construct the data object and return to the user. And, apart from this I am using two more functions basically. One is save the user setting and another one is the clear user setting. So whenever you want to clear the session, we simply call these functions, and when you want to update the user setting data, then simply we can call these functions. In here you can see two important declaration here. So what data store is offer, data store preferences offer, whatever key you want to define, you can define here. So this is the key type is string. If you this is integer, and if I want to change it to some others, they are also available. You can store kind of array or whatever you want. So there's lot of key are there. Yeah. So this part of done, this setup you to need, you can customize it based on your project, but this is the ideal way. And once you done this part, then data layer job is done. Now come to the presentation layer. Before moving ahead the presentation layer, I just want to create an object of this data store. So simply I am initializing here it, and instance of this I am going to use application context, because this is the ideal way of passing the context for any data storage, because whatever data we are storing, it should be behave on application level, not the activity level. In this tutorial you can see I have created one input, two input text and two buttons and two levels here. So simply we will take input from these input text and clear the data. So you can see here that clearing the data and save the data. So here I am created on user setting screen, and here I am passing this data store object, and you can see this data storage I am using two places. One is clearing data storage on clear button, and second button I am using for storing the user setting. So that's way you can use this data store manager. My intention here is to explain how to deal with data store. So make it I just created basically very simple, so you can guys have understanding. So let's run this project and see how it's work and it's serving our purpose or not. So I just run this project, and here suppose I am adding Android wave, and here I am passing my domain age is kind of 7 years and save. So you can see it's directly reflecting here without any interruption, and if I clear it, it simply clear the data storage. 0 is displaying because I said default value is 0. So yeah, that's all about data store. If you have any questions, please write in my comment box, and along with that please subscribe my channel. So